Hello, good, gentle people. Due to popular request, we have a short format Uncivil Northern Discourse for you today. Our normal show covers how the game's played out, what skills people purchased, an interview, and predictions for the following week.
Because the EBL is 3 hours north and running a completely different format than we are, we will have a different format for covering them. The preseason, midseason, and postseason game will be similar with our thoughts and feelings and how things go. But we're thinking about popping in it week by week, giving our predictions and seeing what we can do to shake things up. Good luck the EBL, just not the Oilers.
All right, fight fans, we're going to bring you some more Battletech goodness tonight. But before we do, let's just talk about some stuff. You know, with the fact that how are you guys doing with lights? And well, obviously you're loving the podcast because you guys from Edmonton have been the most for commenting than any group so far, which we're loving to see, and you know, all of that. So keep those comments coming, and we'll keep the content coming. But as it is now, how about we take a look at how week 1 played out?
In Pod A, we see the winners being the 99th Amaris Dragoons, Knox Goons, good on you guys, the Bravehearts 4th Sky Rangers.
Pod B, we see the Helldivers as the winner of their match, and we see our favorite mech, the Furby, leading Morphs Marauders to a win.
Bringing in wins for Pod C, we see the Blue Bastards and the Dash Hounds, pulling it out at the last moment when they need to.
So that's it for that, real quick and fast. We're going to move into week 2, and we're going to take a look at see what's upcoming and give a little bit more detailed opinions.
Also, we've heard your complaints, and we have made the proper changes to the lances as we have been formed from, you know, that sketchy wob source to the north.
Or at least what information was provided to update. If there's still anything wrong, it's his fault, not ours.
Leading off in Pod A, we see Bravehearts 4th Sky Rangers with their awesome 8Q, Thunderbolt 5SS, Centurion 9A, and Commando 1B running up against McKenna's Marauders with their Marauder 3M, Archer 2K, Centurion 9A, and the Panther 9R.
Now, while the Bravehearts did win their first round game, I'm still going with McKenna's Marauders. I love the Marauder, love the Archer. 3 of my 4 favorite mechs are still in the McKenna's Marauders. I'm still going with them to win.
I think this is going to be a tough match for McKenna's Marauders. I still think they can take it overall if they have some good play, they get some good growth in their stable, and see how they play out. We will see that awesome Thunderbolt Centurion combo is going to be tough to beat. Good luck, McKenna's Marauders, for their next game.
But wait, Brett, did you say you figure Bravehearts are going to take it? Or it's just going to be a tough match for the Marauders?
I think it's going to be a really tough match. I don't want to bet on the Bravehearts, so I'm wishing McKenna's Marauders the best of luck to try and pull a win.
That's sounding a lot like how Jock would call his last year, sir.
No, because I'm still calling for McKenna's Marauders, whereas Jock would just wavel on the fence and fall down.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm going to be the voice of dissent in this one, I think, and I think that awesome 8Q is going to play a huge bit, and so I'm going to give it to Bravehearts. I think as much as I'd like to see an archer prevail, I think that Awesome's going to be pretty big in the match here. So, Bravehearts, good luck to you, sir.
All right, next up, we've got Ragnar's Raiders with the other awesome AQ, the Wolverine 6K, the Shadowhawk 2K, and the Locust 1M, going up against Amaris Dragoons Nox's Goons with that Griffin, Hunchback, Hoplite, and Javelin combo.
Well, week 1, I gave it to Nox's Goons, and I'm going to stick with my predictions from week 1, and I'm going to give this one to Nox's Goons also.
Nox's Goons has some good piloting gunnery on all of his mechs, and that Javelin is turning out to be pretty dangerous, whereas the Locust on Ragnar's side is pretty much a write-off. So we're looking at the awesome Wolverine with a Shadowhawk backing it up, going up against the Griffin, the Hunchback, the Hoplite with that Javelin participating. I think I got to go with Nox's Goons on this one too.
For me, Ragnar's Raiders are pulling 4 PPCs to Amaris Goons 1. Now, the Hoplite and the Hunchback, big tough mechs, but just the sheer long-range firepower of that awesome Shadowhawk and Wolverine, I think are going to make the difference. The Locust 1M can make a difference in this fight, and for half the BV value of the Javelin, even if you lose it, you haven't lost that much of your lance. My bet's on Ragnar's Raiders.
And I mean, apparently we all like to say, play the mech you love the mech you want, so go Ragnar's Locust.
Moving into Pod B, we've got the Midnight Cadre, the Luna Stable, with their Thunderbolt SDR5SE, and we hope we got one of the Thunderbolts right this week. The Catapult K2, the Shadowhawk 2H, the Locust 1E, up against the Storm Chasers, with that Thug 10E, Warhammer 6K, Centurion AH, and the Spider 5K that jumps 6, coming in with a 1-2 gunner piloting though.
That Thug and that Warhammer together, that's a great combo with those 4 PPCs. But that Catapult K2 is still there. I don't know how well that Spider is with the 1-2 gunner. I know we before were saying it was the 8 jump. Now it's the 6 jump, as we were corrected. I think the Midnight Cadre here is going to win. I think once that Thunderbolt and the Shadowhawk get up close, it's all over.
Now, I'm not sure if this is the person who enjoys Locust or the other one was. We may have that information mixed up. That being said, I like the Thunderbolt over the Thug. I like the Warhammer over the Catapult. I like the Centurion over the Shadowhawk. And for a light mech, that I think I like the Spider over the Locust. So in this case, I'm going to go with the Storm Chasers.
Storm Chasers are my ride and die for the season. I just think they're a great, solid lance. I'm going to give it to them in the sense that I don't dislike the Thug like you do, Brett, and I think it has a better firepower for long and even medium range up against that Thunderbolt. PPC and 2 SRM4s is a pretty potent weapons platform. The Warhammer has the Catapult beat at close range. The Centurion kind of just does everything the Shadowhawk does, just slower and with a bigger gun. And that Spider, I think, is going to be a really deadly machine, and it's just going to chase down anything that the other mechs don't kill. I'm going with Storm Chasers again.
All right, moving on to our second part in Pod B, we have the Helldivers with the Grasshopper 5N, a Hunchback 4P, Centurion 9AH, and the Mongoose. They're coming up against Morse Marauders, which is one of the mechs that we had incorrect here with the Grasshopper 5N, not a 5H as we previously stated, the Griffin 1N, the Phoenix 3R, and our favorite mech, the Furby.
I'm going to go in on this one, and I am really torn. I like both the Helldivers and Morse Marauders. That Mongoose, we were all gushing about it in the preseason. I think that mech is the most superior mech in the entire EBL for light mechs, except for maybe that Firebeat, but it so completely outmaneuvers it. I am going to go with the Helldivers this go-round, simply because their skills are just a little bit better.
That change in the Grasshopper, that's a big change going to that 5N. I like that one a lot better, especially now on Morphs. Yeah, like you say, I think speed is going to be the one in this match for the lights, and that Mongoose just outclasses both the Phoenix and Furby, even though they're not a light. But it's going to run circles around those things, and it's Centurion with an AC-20 against those slow movers. I think I'm going to go with Helldivers here.
All right, that takes me back to Morph's Marauders. I think I like the speed that the Marauders have with being all 4 jump capable, depending on the map. Again, maps will play a big part. If they get some wide open field, it is not going to matter, and that Mongoose is just going to run this field. But if they get any kind of a standard map, or they get a city map, Morph's Marauders all the way. So I'm going to go with Morph's Marauders today.
On those thoughts you were mentioning there, Brett, one of the things that we had gotten wrong in the preseason is, unfortunately, Infernos are not usable, which really limits some of the things we were just gushing about Morse Marauders' uniqueness. They've still got really good mechs. The Firebee and the Phoenix are not bad mechs. Just without the ability to use Infernos to really pump up the heat, it downgrades their quality a bit. But I still think Helldivers have it, but that's just my thoughts.
That many SRMs is still some potent firepower, though.
Yep.
Oh, it's like clusters in higher tech levels, right? They're crit seekers and always going for that golden BB. They're great, but I think for this one it's going to be that AC-20 pack in there that's going to make a big difference on some of those slower, lighter mechs.
Into Pod C, we see the Wraiths with their Orion, the Warhammer 6D, the Rifleman 3C, and the Wispity Wasp coming up against the Novas, Atlas, Thunderbolt, Crusader, another Locust.
Oh, so this one here, I like the Orion. It's a great mech with the Warhammer, the Rifleman, the Wasp. As long as that Orion doesn't go up from ammo and turn into a rocket, I think they have it. So against that Atlas and Thunderbolt and Crusader, my money's on the Wraiths.
I'm going to have to disagree. I'm looking at these mechs, and while the Wraiths have a little bit of a boost in skills, having a 2-3-4s, the 2-3 Rifleman, and the 4-5 Wasp, it's kind of inverted with the Novas. Their Atlas is a 4-4, their Thunderbolt's a 4-4, but the armor and firepower, those two mechs, especially close range, I don't think the Orion's going to be able to keep handling the damage those two can handle out. The Crusader is just going to eat that Rifleman alive at medium and long range. And the Locust, we'll have to see. It's a more potent weapon system than the Wasp. And I don't see how these Wasps are doing well shooting people in the backs, because if you jump, your best defensive modifier, if you're in the open, is only a 3. People should be able to turn into shoot you on 6s. The Wasp should just be eliminated as soon as it gets anywhere within 6 hexes. So, I don't know. I'm going to say the Novas on this one.
All right, so in this match, I predict the Orion dies first, then the Rifleman, then the Crusader, probably the Wasp at some point in time, and then probably the Thunderbolt, leaving it the Warhammer versus the Atlas and the Locust. Nova's just packing too much armor, so unless something weird happens, random crit, ammo explosion unexpected, head cap, I got to go with the Novas on this. They're just bringing the beef, and that is going to carry the day.
And our second match in Pod C brings us up to the Dashhound Battalion, bringing their Annihilator ANH-1E, a mech that we got so wrong it would have completely changed our predictions of last week. It's a Thunderbolt TDR-5ST, completely different mech. 1 large laser, 8 medium lasers, completely different mech, completely different opinion. The Rifleman 2N, which is 2 PPCs and 4 medium lasers, also completely different mech than we thought, and the Wasp 1W. The Blue Bastards are bringing a Warhammer 6D, Thunderbolt TDR-5SS, the Hunchback 4P, and the Spider 5D.
Yeah, this is, knowing those mechs now, this is a huge difference, right? There's that 5S-T is a 4P but better. It's more armor. It carries that large laser also. Even the Rifleman is a huge difference with 2 PPCs and 4 medium lasers over what we thought it was before. In light of this new information, I got to go with Dashhound Battalion on this one.
Okay, so in the matchup of the Dashhounds versus the Blue Bastards, I think I'm going to go with the Dashhounds as well, knowing just exactly what Thunderbolt that is. The Rifleman's packing 2 PPCs, the Annihilator's packing 4 PPCs. This is just going to sit in a little group, holding hands, waddling around the board somewhere, and making their opponents come to them, eating all that long-range firepower. Good luck to the Dashhounds. We'll see if the Blue Bastards have some sort of tricks that they can pull, or if they can make the battlefield make their advantage.
In the Dogs versus the Bastards, I have to go with the Dogs. And the reason being is we so completely underestimated them in the first round, mainly because they're packing 6 PPCs and 2 mechs, and a large laser with the Thunderbolt. Now the Bastards are bringing 2 PPCs with the Warhammer and a large laser, and I think an LRM-10 in the Thunderbolt. And the Hunchback 4P's got that big 20, but I don't think they're going to get close enough for it to matter. I'm going with the Dashhounds on this one.
And leading into our last pod of the week, we have the Analysis Paralysis Incorporated with their Victor 9B, Grasshopper 5N, Jenner 7F, and the Oscout 7J versus the AC Brigade with their Marauder 3D, Hunchback 4G, Centurion 9AH, and the Locust 1E.
These are 2 teams that won their week 1 games. In that situation, I still really like the AC Brigade. Their skills are just really high on 2 of their really good mechs. I didn't hear enough about the Analysis Paralysis Incorporated game to understand how that Oscout had any effect in the battle whatsoever. I still consider it a real liability. So I'm going to give it the AC Brigade, just purely accuracy of their weapons.
I got to mirror that. I think the AC Brigade with a 2-gunner Marauder and a 2-gunner Centurion are going to take that Victor apart, and then it's going to be the Grasshopper and the Jenner show. And yeah, that Oscout, we need to know through comments, people. Let us know what it's doing, what it's in there for, why it's participating. I got to assume it's the 3 piloting to make some charges or some DFAs, but let's hear some feedback. Go AC Brigade, Analysis Paralysis Incorporated. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Well, we haven't all agreed on one thing yet, except I think the Dashhounds last go. So I'm still not going to agree with both of you. I think we're going to see that Victor actually do very well and be surprised by it. So I think we're going to see Analysis Paralysis. I think that Victor and Grasshopper together is going to hold down somewhere, and that Jenner is just going to wreak havoc with that Locust and the Centurion. The Oscout, I still agree. I don't know if it's there for charges with that 3 piloting or punches and kicks, but that it would be interesting to find out the thoughts behind that mech.
That is going to take us into Worms Hellions, the second Dragon Lords, versus Dinochrome Brigade. With the second Dragon Lords, we've got that Griffin, Trebuchet, Phoenix Hawk, Panther. Clearly, this Lance is going for a mobile fighting style. Dinochrome Brigade, King Crab, Black Knight, Wolverine, Wasp. Wasp's a throwaway. The King Crab, Black Knight, I think they're going to just waddle into the center somewhere and wait for good shots. I want to see the mobile team get it, though. My money's on second Dragon Lords this time.
I've always liked that King Crab, and I'm a sucker for a Black Knight with a Wolverine. That's three mechs that I really like. The Black Knight, it's light on armor, but it still packs quite a bit of a punch. And that twin AC-20s from that King Crab against a Phoenix Hawk or a Panther, that's just connect. If he connects, that's pain all day. So I'm going to go with Dinochrome Brigade.
In this situation, I want to go to the second Dragon Lords. I really do like the mobility. The Dinochrome Brigade is... I like the King Crab, I just do. I'm really struggling on this one. Both teams struggled in their first week. So I'm going to say, like you said, Brett, the Wasp is a wash. The Panther of the Dragon Lords is going to survive. And maybe if they can maneuver around that King Crab and make it a little less effective, make it waste some ammunition, it definitely would have the go there. So I'm going to go the second Dragon Lords in the sense that I don't think the King Crab nor the Black Knight have the ability to catch those mechs and really pin them down to do the amount of damage. We have one bonus game for everybody this week. We have a dark horse team that we hadn't known about until a couple of days ago. The 15th Lyran Guard. They're bringing in a Black Knight 7, same one as the Dinochrome Brigade, with a 3 gunnery, 4 piloting. The Archer 5S, which is 2 LRM-15s, 2 SRM-4s, and 4 medium lasers. A Hatchet Man, finally a mech with a physical weapon, with a 4 gunnery, 3 piloting. It's got an autocannon 10, 2 medium lasers, and a Wolverine 6R, a Lance without any light mechs, with a 4 gunnery, 4 piloting. They're going to be going up against the Wraiths, and I'll go over their team again really quickly. That's the Orion, the Warhammer 6D, the Rifleman 3C, and the Wasp 1W.
Oh man, a Black Knight, an Archer, a Hatchetman, and a Wolverine. This is... I'm not a huge fan of that variant of the Wolverine, but it's still a Wolverine, and it's great. Like you say, that Hatchetman, he's played it smart, and he's got that 3 piloting on that hatchet. And as you know, I know, Lee, he's got an Archer, and it's got that 3 gunnery instead of a 4 gunnery, like the other one, and a Black Knight. So I like his mechs. I'm a really big fan of these mechs here, so... I hope Lyran Guard takes to the Wraiths, and I think the Lyran Guard's going to win.
Okay, so odd number of teams. I'm not sure how it's going to work out on where that extra opponent comes from every week. I'd be interested to hear that. But here we go looking at the 15th Lyran Guard. Black Knight, super solid, 3 gunner, 4 pilot. Can't go wrong. Archer, 2S, another beautiful mech. Really like it. That Hatchetman, I think they're overlooked. 4 gunner with a 3 pilot on that is going to make it a lot more threat than people give it credit for. The only thing I'd like to see here is a Crab instead of that Wolverine. I think it would round out the Lance that much better. But
Whoa. Did you just say you prefer someone to have a Crab over a Wolverine?
I did. I think it would complement the Lance better.
Is he okay?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit out of my depth here hearing him say that.
Do you think we should call someone? Like, is there someone we can send there? Or?
I don't know. I think maybe the word of Blake's starting to get to him. A little bit of tinkering going on in the gray matter.
All right. So Wraiths are solid with their Orion, Warhammer, Rifleman, and Wasp. But I've got to go with the guard on this. I think their combo is going to hold the day, and good luck to the odd man out.
So that brings us to the end of our predictions for round 2. And, we wish all the teams the best of luck in their fights. And we are severely happy with, the response we've received from our special podcast on the start of the EBL. And we look forward to many more comments and hearing your concerns or comments or, hey, even how your games have went. I am also looking to continue my lead of correct predictions. So all the teams that I've picked, please, if you could help and continue with that, it would be greatly appreciated. And as they say, the check is in the mail if you win.
All right, so like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and most importantly, leave comments. We love to hear your feedback. We want to hear more from you. And this is the only way, well, this is the most likely way, that we're going to start to get to know you guys up in Edmonton. So please leave us comments, have a chat, have interaction, let us know who's who. Maybe give us some feedback about what your histories are so that we can put that into one of our shows.
And as always, we love everybody who's in the Battletech community. Great to hear what's going on out there. Really want to hear about when those guys up in Edmonton start getting their crabs. I've been hearing a lot of talk going on that they're just waiting for delivery. Good luck, guys. Have fun, and know that we're rooting for each and every one of you.